Hi, this is Steffi from Steffi's Beads and Baubles, and I told you I'd show you what I was doing with the steampunk. So this is a piece I started on yesterday, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I found a really neat watch movement. I wired in this gear, and I hooked a watch face to it, and now I've got two spots to hang, and I'm just trying to figure out what to hang. I've so far kind of decided on this, but I want something here that kind of balances it, but the weight has to be light. So as you can see, I have a lot more stuff on my table because I raided my boxes again and found all kinds of neat stuff. And what I was trying to tell you in my last video is this is a craft that you can use all those oddball things, the things you've harvested off of old jewelry that you don't know what to do with. This is the craft for that. Let me get some of these watch parts back on my watch tray. If I'm not using them, I like to keep some of this stuff over here. Keep it separate from the other crafting stuff. I don't know why it's so dark. I have 3 bright lights shining on my table right now. It's so weird. I've got windows open. I've got this big light here, my ring light, and then my ceiling fan, but still sometimes it can be dark. So I went and raided, and I found this butterfly dangle, which is, the chain's kind of funky on it. I got to fix that. This is a piece I made up at some point. I think I might have actually done this yesterday. It's all such a blur. I didn't like how that hung on there. So I went through my stuff and I pulled out more treasures from my boxes. I found some neat beads. I found more charms. I found some bees and some leaves, flowers. I found some more interesting filigrees. And here's some really cool things. And the thing about steampunk is if you go, let's say on Pinterest, and look up, and this is another one I'm working on too. This is a piece I've started on also. But I don't like this dangle on there. I'm going to change that out. The thing is, I've got to either glue a bail on the back, or I have to have my husband drill a hole in the top. Because that one does not have any holes to hang a jump ring on. So that's another piece. But that's, all I did was take a head pin with a loop in it, a looping pin, went through it. I put a bead on it first, and then the loop is in front, and I went to the back, put another loop which I will flatten later, and that's all I did there. And so that one's kind of in limbo as well. Here's a crystal that was in my crystals. Somebody glued something on it at some point. I don't really know what or why, but I forgot to show you that. So right now I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to put on there. I've got, you know, cute little beads. I've got all kinds of dangles and goodies. I got some cool little filigrees here that are really unique and different. I forgot I had them. They were all wrapped up and in my stuff. They're kind of almost, I can't even get them into the light to show you. They're very weird. They're more like a spider web, except they're not spider web shaped, but they're very delicate. I don't know if it's showing up. Kind of. So I'll pull those out a little later. I found some copper beads I had. And remember I told you about the fake gears you can buy. They're not bad at all. I'm not saying they're horrible to use. But I've got copper, I've got antique brass, and silver. And you can see that they just aren't as refined as, say, a real gear. But they definitely have a place in steampunk jewelry. I prefer to use the real stuff, but some pieces you can use these cute little, and I think I got all 3 of these in a package together pretty darn cheap. So I got more watch faces here to put up. So Basically, this is a craft that you're just going to throw everything out there on the table and just have fun with it. I've got these cute little connectors. Many of these I bought today. Look at these, are really cool. I might even use one of those today with something small hanging off of it. I found more keys. I forgot I had these cute little keys. And I have some other little tiny keys I just found. Set them on the table. I found a clasp I made that's kind of crappy, but you know, it was an experiment. Some copper dragonflies. I had some little tiny keys. Oh yeah, right here. These little brass ones. So this, I've got a little teapot, a camera, this is a little bell with a... So there is no real rules for steampunk. Steampunk is industrial meets Victorian, and then your interpretation of that. So I'm going to play around with this, and I'll come back and show you what I end up doing. I want to get this piece listed today, and then I want to have my husband help me with this one maybe this weekend. This is another pretty piece. You can mix those, you know, and there's some pieces you can make very romantic and pretty. So whatever your style is, like this is a cool piece. It's got like a mesh over the bead. Can you see that? And then it's like an interesting flower. So you would just hang that. So, and here's another mesh wrapped bead. And these are the kind of things you can find at Hobby Lobby. They have a couple sections with all kinds of really neat stuff. And you just wait till it goes on 50% off. And if you're real lucky and you're patient enough, you might find it actually go on the 75% off. And that's when you stock up. My husband and I have literally spent $300 one time. And we got stuff at 75% off. And we bought a ton of great... We just timed it perfect. We were able to get a bunch of really great stuff. Also, these are kind of things you can find online, like for $5 each. It's a pocket watch. Now, the only problem with those is I bought a bunch of them, and luckily the first one I made and sold was to my daughter-in-law. And she called me and said, hey, the watch isn't working. Now, I don't know if it was the battery or the watch. I haven't had time to play with it. So you got to do it more for decoration. This was a freebie I got in a bag with some stuff I bought from a Turkish business. Turkey, you can get things pretty cheap, and they tend to send you a bunch of goodies. These I bought somewhere pretty cheap online. This is just pipe I bought, little pipe fittings I bought at Home Depot and smushed them. Old bullet casings can be used. You can get your hands on any of those. If you have a hunter in your family or just somebody that shoots guns. I got a whole bunch of bullets in there when my son took me out shooting for my birthday last year. This is another real pretty filigree piece. So you can have oh, these are really cheap online. It's just a locket. Is it? I think, yeah, it opens up. It's just empty. So you can put something decorative in there that will peek out through the filigree. A picture, a charm. And these are really cool. These are like these little bottles that you can fill. Haven't figured out how to use them, but I got a whole bag of them. And these were all things I got for 75% off. Little roses. So just, the sky's the limit. I'm telling you, steampunk is so much fun. Because you can do it more Victorian. Or you can do it like with these type of things. Now, that's not my picture. That's what came in it. I'd change that. Or maybe I'd leave it. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a negative look. Or more industrial with stuff like this. It's up to you whether you want to do more of the industrial or more of the Victorian. This is another neat piece. And a lot of people use them like this. Put a chain off each side and then hang stuff from the middle. This is how I got it. And I'm going to probably use it like this. And I'm going to leave that. I don't know if I'll probably put it on top. But I like the dent in it. I picked that up somewhere. Don't know where. So it's just the neatest craft because you can just have so much fun. Look at this locket I found. This I'm sure was a Hobby Lobby piece. And on sale you can get these for about $1. And this was probably one of those 4-piece sets. Like 4 charms for on clearance, paid maybe $2. But this is just one of those more springs I found. This is just one of those crafts. Here's an old piece of jewelry. Here's a good example. I could actually hang this on here. That might even be what I do. See? It's got the rhinestones and the 2 pearls. Now you could change the beads, but I like the old nasty looking beads. I mean, it is, look at this empty. This is one of those ones you buy to fill with stuff. And that was on clearance, I'm sure. Some more filigrees. Filigrees work out very well for steampunk. Oh, that's the same locket I showed you. So, I mean, it's just anything that your imagination can come up with, you can use for steampunk. Filigree beads. You know, just a watch charm. Or watch. Did you know that's a watch? That's a camera. And metal beads, especially if they're kind of rough looking. I have some in here that are brass that have the blue oxidation. I don't know where I put them. But that's a wonderful thing to use because as an accent, very industrial looking. I don't know, I don't see them. They're up here somewhere. For me, now this might not be how you like to create, but for me, I like to spread everything out in front of me. Now, could you do this with your, oh, these are something I found today too that are really neat. They're antique brassy copper little heart charms. I like to lay everything out. This might drive you crazy. These are buttons I dug out yesterday. This might drive you crazy to have your table a mess, and this will probably look like this for a few weeks because I really want to work on this type of jewelry. I reached out to Blue Bus Dave to ask him if he has any watch parts. I told him I do steampunk, so he's going to look through his stuff and get back to me and see what he has. I told him I really needed some pocket watches. I can get a bunch online, but I like to give business to people that I've bought from before, and I buy a lot from Blue Bus Dave on eBay. He has a channel too that's one of our favorite channels. We watch Sumi, we watch Lamp Lady, we watch Blue Bus Dave, Real Nifty Vintage. There's a bunch we love to watch. Those are the main ones we watch, and then there's a couple others we watch. But Dave finds the stuff as far as a treasure hunting videos. That's our favorite, treasure hunting videos, because he finds stuff like this. He doesn't find just glass and collectibles, which we love to watch, but he finds interesting and odd things, and that's what we really like. Like here's an old charm from one of my son's old necklaces from when he was a teenager. Here's a piece I was working on learning wire wrapping, and I made this polymer ball. I made this out of polymer clay. It's kind of a marbly looking bead, and then I wire wrapped it with copper. This is one of my early attempts at wire wrapping. So I got it out. I thought maybe I can use it for something. Who knows? But this is the most fun for me, jewelry designing, is when you just put it all on the table. And maybe not every single thing. That's another pretty copper key. Or, yeah, copper. Maybe not every single thing I do will be sorry about the car, steampunk, but I think you can create better when you have stuff in front of you. Now, you can put open bins in front of you, but my brain doesn't work that way. I need to lay it all out. Now, will this be a nightmare to put away later? Maybe, but if I use enough of it up over the next few months, maybe not, because this is going to literally be set up. I'll probably put something over top of it when I'm not working to keep it from getting dusty. But anyway, I'll keep you updated. I'm going to experiment with this a little bit, and then I'll get back to you and show you what I decided to do on this side. I'll put it on a chain. I haven't decided if I'm doing a silver chain a ball chain, a regular chain, a brass chain, because the gear itself, or the clock face, is actually chromy. It's a steel color, and the watch has got gold and silver in it, and this gear is gold. So that's the fun part to me about steampunk, is in each piece you probably have a little gold, a little silver, a little brass, and maybe even a little copper. And I love mixed metals. So that's, oh, here's another neat charm I found. It's like a connector. Now I could take this off and just put a head pin on it too. If I didn't want to put something on both ends of this, I could just cut one end off and then put a straight pin through so that I could just loop it and have a drop. But I have a couple of those, three of those. Those were taken off of something. And I got a heart locket too. So, and I've actually got another one of these gear pendants as well. So, and I thought I bought this at Hobby Lobby, but I was looking at it. It's very worn. This was obviously off of something I purchased. This is an older piece. I still can't get over a flying bird in a bird cage. That's so weird to me. Oh, here's another gear. I put it in a bag. I don't know really why I did that. Huh. But anyway, just like, this was definitely a Hobby Lobby thing. See? Pair of earrings. Well, those could individually be, and those are a locket too. Yeah, those are little closed lockets. So these could go onto a steampunk piece. So I mean, I'm just telling you, there is no limit. If you have a bunch of mismatched stuff in any color of metal, you can do a steampunk. Like, I didn't even get out many chrome beads or stainless steel type beads. I have 4 boxes right there of all silver charms. I haven't even gotten any much of those out. I tend to work more with the brass and copper and gold than I do silver. But if I can't find the right bead or charm, I'll go over there and find some in silver. But yeah, so anyway, I'll be back. I'll show you what I end up doing on this piece. I did not show you my work on this. Basically, to put the gear on, I wire wrapped it through. I took this gear. If you look up there, I wire wrapped it through, and then I have a loop through there, a jump ring there, and a jump ring there. And this little watch part was hung on with this. And I just flattened the loop. I'm finding my biggest problem right now is the faces, the clock faces. I'll pull one up and show you. They don't have many places to go through with the face on the actual watch. They're easier to use when they're just a gear, because then you can go up and through. You see, if you hold this up to the light without a face, you'll see a bunch of holes. But with the face on there, it makes it a lot more difficult. I'm trying to see if I have one to show you. Yeah, let me hold one up to show you. See all the holes? That's really easy to use when you don't have a face on there. But once the face is on there, you're very limited on the holes you can use on this piece. Because some of the watch parts, the face is actually bigger than the movement. So I may have to have my husband take some watch faces off for me, and then I might have to have him drill holes in them. So if I want to use some of the watch faces, they may have to hang down. It's been a while since I've done this, and I've actually never used the movements with the face watch fronts on before. I've always used this type. So we shall see. We'll see what I get as I search online and hear back from Dave. I'll see what I can get my hands on to create with. But for now, I mean, even if I got nothing new, this is a lot of great stuff. So I'll be back at the end of this video. I'll shoot a little shot of what I finished down here, and let you see how this came out. I'll still do a tutorial later. Just let me get used to doing this again, and then we'll do a tutorial. After I've made a few pieces, I'll show you the pieces as I make them in other videos, but then after I get my feet wet a little bit again, get used to doing this kind of work, then I will shoot a tutorial showing you every step. But right now I'm just relearning how to do this. But I'll be back in a bit with showing you how the finished piece looks. Okay, I'm back, and here's the finished piece. I decided to go with a more romantic style because it was a woman's watch on there. I decided I would use this pearl, but moved it to this side, and then I added that cute little rose. I just love the combination of the piece. Now this is how the back of the piece looks. You can see where I've put a few little wires through, but not much on the back. And then I did an oversized lobster claw, and I put a pink bead, similar but not exactly in color, to kind of hint at the romance of the piece, and it's on the clasp. Some people like to roll the clasp around so it shows, and I figured I'd make it decorative. I usually do on my long necklaces. So I'm going to go list this, so by the time you see this video, this will be in my Etsy shop. And I'll start another one after I put that. While the video is uploading, I'll start another one. This one's kind of, I'm not going to use this charm, but I can't do much until my husband. I don't really want to glue a bail on. I really like everything wired on. So I want him to drill a hole, probably right in the top of the 12 is probably where it's going to have to go. But I'll finish this one up after he has a chance, probably this weekend. I found some other cool beads I wanted to show you. These are all similar. I had them in a little jar. They have this shimmer to them. They're clear with this pink and purple shimmer. Just gorgeous. I gotta fix that, find that other one. I've got a couple different drops. I've got a heart. I've got a couple of the bigger drops. This gorgeous scalloped one. I've got these in several colors and I love them. And I think the heart is what I dropped. I also have this one that's kind of got some etching in it. You can see the etching. And then this flat one. And I don't have them in a... Let me see if I can get that heart and show it to you. Is that the heart? It might not be the heart. No, it's another one of these. I have a heart. I don't know where it went. Oh, here it is. The little heart. So these might be fun to use, and that's what I was at first going to use on the clasp, and then I said, oh, no, I've got a pink that matches. This one's especially cool because it's got those etched stripes in it. So that's all I'm saying is you can have so much fun with this, and just use what you have. Use the stuff you have. It doesn't have to be, even with watches and gears. You can do this type of jewelry with your filigrees or just old pendants. You can do, because there's a lot of old jewelry that's made up like this, and you can hang all kinds of stuff off. In fact, I'll do one for you using this and hanging some stuff off of it and see what we can come up with. So you can have so much fun, and just use what you can find and what you have. If you've been making jewelry for a while, you might have a ton of stuff, more than you even... I didn't even realize I had all this. And I still have buckets of stuff. I mean, I have this thing full of beads and charms. These are some of the stuff I pulled. Bracelets and necklaces. And beads and charms. I mean, look at these gorgeous blue. This is all stuff I had... These are gorgeous, too. Pink with the... And these I just got at thrift stores. So just use what you've got. You'd be surprised what you can come up with. But this is my finished piece, and then I'll be back later today, and I've got another quick video to do later today. So just have fun, create, just do whatever you want to do. That's the thing. You don't have to do any rules. You can make what you want, and if you think it's pretty, if you like these little gears you can pick up at the store, you can use these and hang all kinds of stuff on them too. So just have fun, play, lay stuff out as much as you're comfortable doing. I mean, I've got my whole table covered. I've got keys, and those are my watches and my watch parts, and wire and bottles, and more keys, and jewelry, and then parts and pieces. My whole table. I'll pull back from you to show you. That's what my table looks like right now. Now, I know that you don't all have tables. So if you don't have a work table, you're working at your kitchen table, I'm telling you, cookie sheets are your best friend. Get a cookie sheet. If you don't have beading mats, and this is an ancient beading mat, you can see it's coming apart. Put a cloth napkin down. You can put a dish towel down. That's what I used when I first started, was dish towels. Then I found out about beading mats. And lay a cookie sheet out, the biggest one you got, and put your findings and stuff on a napkin, a paper towel, whatever you got. Lay it all out in the tray. That way you can put it away when you make dinner. That's how I started. When I started beadwork, and if you look at my project shelves, they're all cookie sheets. You see? Some are from like there's some little ones that you use in a tiny toaster oven. And the big, I get them at yard sales for 50 cents or $1. And it doesn't matter how worn out they are. If you have old ones that you want to get rid of, perfect use for them. And you can just load it up with all your goodies, and that way you can take it off and set it somewhere when you've got to use your table for eating or other projects that you want to do. Cookie sheets are the way to go. This is an extra deep one, so I think that was more of a jelly roll pan, but you get my point. See, this one's all covered with watch parts. But each one of those has projects and parts and pieces. The bottom shelf, and I think 1 or 2 things on the shelf above, are a project that I've been working on for years with a friend. And everything else, you can see cookie cutters up there. There's all kinds of projects up on those shelves there. And my husband did this. He used pieces of wood. You can see it over on the side over here. Pieces of wood and extra shelves that he had, and made me an area for my shelves. That's something I dreamed of having for years. And a few years ago, he made it for me. I just told him, oh, I wish I had a way to have a little shelf with places to slide my trays. And that's what he came up with. So I just love it. I can stack trays on there. And sometimes I actually have empty trays. There might be a couple, but usually I fill them up pretty quick. So that is a way you can do it. And because I know storage when you're crafting, and there's more over there with buttons on them. You see those two? There's 2 there with buttons on them from when I did the button flowers. So cookie sheets are your best friend when you're crafting, I'm telling you. But anyway, I'll give you one more look at our new creation here. And I'll be back a little bit later today. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye.